Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the FPL Affairs podcast, the podcast that strips back and lays bare our season-long love affair with FPL. Dove, Lion and myself are all at different stages with our team selections this week. One went early with his transfer, one might go tonight, and the other simply can't decide whether to hit or roll. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for all of our content, and hit the bell to be notified each time we release something new. Anyway, enough of my small talk. Let's get cracking.
And there's Mo Salah. There goes Haaland. He's on his way again. He's hungry. He's scored. Ice cold precision from Palmer. Ayo Saka. That is a diamond of a goal.
Greetings everybody to our Game Week 10 team selections video with me, Matt, aka the FPL Affairs Magpie, and alongside me in following on from our Game Week transfer plans and so on is the FPL Affairs Dove Mohammed and FPL Affairs boss man Lion Lewis. How are you, gentlemen?
Good. Looking forward to seeing Mohammed's team.
Yes, because if I remember in the last video, you said you'd already made your transfer or transfers, didn't you?
Yes, I have done my transfer early on Monday to get
Okay,
the price right.
good point. Well, I'll bring it up. Right, in honor, saluting for the team selections. Let's look at yours first. Thank you, Sar and Rice. Mohammed, talk us through yours.
I mean, the transfer that I have done this week is probably the main concern that I have is João Pedro. It's been absolutely horrible. Not just he doesn't return, he doesn't even have a single shot on target for the past 3 games. So I think for a striker to do that is just a red flag. So I sold him just before Mateta price rise. So I bring him in. And Pedro are expected to drop in price. So I already saved around 0.2 million on that transfer.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, also the other problem right now is definitely will be Anderson. We don't know how long he will be out or if he will be fit for this game. We definitely haven't had the best fixture that I was hoping to start him, but it's all right. I will start him first, but if he didn't play, my sub will come in.
So,
Other than that,
who would you start him for, Dan? Anderson.
I think I probably will start. If Anderson were out, I probably will start Reinders ahead of Semenyo.
So you play Reinders and bench Semenyo.
Yes, I think so. I think Bournemouth, the most that I see them scoring is 1. Semenyo could or could not return. I mean, Reinders has been for quite some time, hasn't actually given us any attacking return, but he does occasionally have a shot on goals. So I would love to gamble on that.
So
but it's still early.
If Anderson is fit and available,
Yeah.
then well, with his fixture, surely you'd play him. But who would you play him for?
Oh yeah, Semenyo. But that is all. Yeah, I think I will play it for Semenyo.
What, so and do 4-3-3?
Yeah, 4-3-3. The concern is maybe a bit of tussle between Semenyo or Rhys James, but we know Rhys James are very attacking. He on set pieces, and like I said earlier, Chelsea are very bad in defending set piece. Van de Ven can also get a return. So it looks like at the moment, I will start both of them, Rhys James and Van de Ven. So it will be like 4-3-3.
Are you starting Kudus?
Oh yes. I think I will start Rangers ahead of Kudus.
Yes, it's a tough call this week. I mean, yeah, so I don't know if you saw it, Matt, but Mohammed sent his team picture through in a moment ago, but he had Semenyo on the bench and Kudus on the bench, and then he's starting Reinders, starting Anderson, and then obviously if Anderson doesn't play, then he'll have Kudus come in, will you, as your first sub?
Right. Okay.
I think that's how he's got it set up.
Yeah,
Um,
just seen the image. Save me
yeah,
faffing with that. If you can see that on the screen, viewers, no, without it being too blurry.
it's a bit blurry,
Come on, focus, you silly thing.
he's basically got the front three as it is on screen, except from Mateta instead of João Pedro. He then has Bruno, Eze, and Reinders as the midfield three, and then he has James, Van de Ven, Gahey, and Anderson lining up as the back four. And then obviously, yeah, if Anderson doesn't make it, he'll have Kudus come in as first sub, I think.
I'll conveniently during editing do a magic sparkly twirling
Do your magic,
magical
man. Do
twinkling
your magic.
appearance of your team image that you've sent and it'll come up in all sparkles and rainbows and whatever else. Maybe not sparkles and rainbows, but I'll get it stuck over the top.
Some people will say that he's crazy for benching Semenyo and probably even Kudus, but I don't mind either of those decisions. Like Semenyo's good, but he's not as great as everyone's hyping him up to be, I don't think. He's playing Man City away. He's not going to get lots of chances. He's not going to get lots of the ball. Um, they might score one goal, as Daniel says, and
I
um,
mean, I studied this MC and Bournemouth game. I see all their head-to-head, all until 1918 seats. They
mhm,
play a lot of games, and there has been only on two occasions where Bournemouth scored more than once.
really, after in all those
Yeah.
games.
Yes, in all from
Yeah, wow,
1986 until now, they only score
wow,
more than one in two games only.
wow.
So I think Man City will keep a clean sheet, but if Bournemouth score, the max I'll see is one.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm, interesting
Yeah,
stuff that. So do you
looking
want to
good,
read
mate.
the
Go on.
yeah, so that was just for clarification, starting at the moment, Donnarumma, Van de Ven, Anderson, Gahey, and Reece James. Midfield three of Eze, Reinders, and Bruno Fernandes, and up front Gyökeres, Mateta, and Captain Haaland. And
Are you
therefore on the
expecting a green
bench,
arrow?
and then on the bench, Dubravka, Kudus, Semenyo, Estev.
Well, it's going to be. I think I'm not quite happy with my team. Of course, the defense with Reinders have to start, but I mean we have to do with what we have, and of course, inshallah, I'm hopeful for another green arrow.
Hmm.
That hopefully before game week 12, I reach the top 100K. That's my target. No, game week 13. Yes.
That's your
Yeah,
target.
I think your team looks good on paper. I think you will get a green arrow this week. I think it will depend mostly on actually Bruno Fernandes because
Yes. I'm
you know,
Bruno and
Hart,
Arsenal. Is it and Gyökeres?
yeah, and Arsenal, yeah. Well, if Arsenal concede, then you're in a great position. If they don't concede, then you probably need Bruno and maybe James or Reinders to get a return for you.
Hopefully for them.
Mm.
I mean, is there any? Of course, I have done my free transfer. I mean, will you recommend any hit for my team?
Personally, no, I think it looks good.
Yeah, okay. Same as me. Same as what I thought. Also,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the similar. I think it's similar debate that a lot of people are having with the João Pedro and Reinders conundrum is about can you sell one and bench the other this week, or bench one and play one if you can't get rid of them. Um, that's the sort of whereabouts, and also whether it's worth a hit. But then, I mean, as you said, you sold João Pedro for Mateta, and you're able to bench Reinders if you want to. Um, so yeah, you're in a good position, to be honest.
yeah. I mean, even if I want to take a hit to sell Reinders, I need to cover up the 4 points, and with 5.8 million, I guess it's not a lot of option that I can find to cover up that hit. So I
Yes,
think it's a good
You
decision to
don't
just play.
you don't need to when you've got Kudus and Semenyo that you've got on the bench.
Yes. Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
you
you can sell Reinders next week, maybe.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's my plan.
or even bench him, or even bench him and play Kudus.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Good luck, Mohammed. Thanks for joining us. And
Yeah,
I know you've got to go, so take
yeah,
care,
Yeah, I
brother.
got to go now.
yeah,
So I wish you all the best, and let's hope for another green arrow this week, all of us.
yeah.
Take care, brother.
Fingers crossed. Good luck, mate.
Inshallah, see you again. Assalamu alaikum.
Adios.
Bye bye.
You or me next, Matt?
You're up. Talk us through yours.
Yeah. So I've got two free transfers. I've got Raya in goal, who's going to play. I've got Mukiele, Van de Ven, and Rodon as a back three. Salah, Paqueta, Doku, and Rice in the midfield, and then Gyökeres, Pedro, and Haaland. The problem, I'm not against holding João Pedro, but if I keep João Pedro, I have to bench Van de Ven, and if I play Van de Ven, then I have to sell João Pedro because I'm not going to play both of them, which means I've got a 50-50 call on back in the Chelsea attack or back in the Spurs defence, and I don't like doing either, to be honest.
Would you consider
I'm
play?
go on.
Mind you, if you've got two free transfers, then you've got the depends on who you'd be um
So my
replacing João
ideal,
Pedro with, and if
yeah.
you
So
do,
the ideal two transfers would be João Pedro to Mateta and
mm,
Doku to Sarr, and just getting that Crystal Palace double in. But I'm 0.2 million short of that move. So I'm now looking at
what's
with the Anderson. What's that?
what's Doku's price?
6.6.
Has Sar risen yet?
Yeah, so I think Sar's gone up. I think Mateta's gone up twice. Um, Basically, if I'd have done that exact move Sunday night, I could have afforded it. But I only noticed it like half an hour before midnight,
Mm.
and I didn't want to do anything, rush anything. And also, I knew there was games last night, so I've just waited. It's fine. Because what I might do now is Pedro to Mateta, Doku to Sarr, and then because I need to find 0.2 million to fund it, I can do Anderson, who's not going to play now, annoyingly. I can do Anderson down to a 4.3 million defender who can actually just sit on my bench. And I've been looking at Pau Torres to be on the bench this week against Liverpool, but then play the next four games, who's got decent fixtures. I can do Kilman. I can do there's basically like three half decent options that are 4.3 million to go in on the bench to fund the Sarr and Mateta move, but it is for a hit. So
Mm,
half of me saying just keep Pedro and keep Doku and roll for another week and have three transfers next week. So it's going to be quite a big swing either way.
mm.
What would you do?
Well, I'm sort of in a bit of a predicament um myself, which will go through when we get mine up.
Mm. If you had the two threes here, what would you do? Would you do three like I'm going to do and maybe
Both,
take a small
well, because both you said both João Pedro and um Doku, they're both marginally less
Sarr
price
and
wise
Mateta?
similar than Mateta and Sarr.
Mm.
Um, I wouldn't drop I I wouldn't sell Anderson because three you've already
But I've
got
got
Mukiele, Rodon
yeah,
and Estev as budget. You don't want a fourth under there, and Anderson's the best 4.5 defender for DEFCON. So
yeah.
he,
So what do you do? Just not get one of Sarr or Mateta?
yeah, I think so it would be pick which one you'd rather have.
But the thing is, I still have to do two transfers because individually I can't do
Yeah.
just Pedro. So I'll have to do Pedro and Doku, but it will have to be to Sarr and like a Calvert-Lewin or a Krupi Jr. or Mateta, and then like 5 million mid maybe. Who would you say is more important, Mateta or Sarr?
that's the thing that I've been struggling with as well. And I
Okay.
keep coming up with like I think I decided one, then something comes up and decides on the other. Like part of
Yeah.
me thinks, well, goals wise, Saar obviously gets an extra point for each goal, and
Yeah. Clean
um,
sheet possibility.
yeah, the clean sheet possible. He's not really a DEFCON type midfielder
No.
uh, in that respect. He's not on set pieces. I
But
know
then
we're
this
I know
the
we're six
sensible
game
FBL
week.
pick is the penalty taker, isn't it?
I know we're 6 game weeks away. Um, but Saar would be going to AFCON, so it's very much he'd be one that we'd be getting in for
Yeah.
5 weeks, 6 weeks, and then so it's effectively getting him in. It's effectively booking in a transfer. Whereas Mateta, obviously being French, he would not be going there, so that wouldn't be a transfer out.
I'm just
Um,
I'm just looking to see who I so if I did Pedro to Mateta, Doku to I'd have 6.3 million to get if I did Pedro to Mateta and then Doku to a 6.3 million mid McAllister.
what's Soboslai at the moment?
He is yeah, well, I'm annoyed I didn't bring him in last week, so I feel like I don't want I was very close to bringing him in 6.5.
6.5.
Um so yeah, I couldn't afford him anyway. Um 6.3 is what I would have. So, and it would be someone that I would need to play this week. Um, Bernardo Silva, Gittins. I think realistically, yeah. I mean, even Aronson at Leeds, I don't hate, but it's a bit of a random pick.
Tricky.
I could get Minter in, but then I don't want Brighton attackers against my Leeds defender. So Caicedo, 5.9.
Caicedo 5.9 now.
Yeah,
Wow.
I could just bring Reinders in and go the opposite way of what everyone else is. Um,
No, you've already got the. Yeah, it'll be.
Yeah, there's not loads that interest. I could bring Elliot Anderson back. He might go on a little run under Dyche. Um, but yeah, I've just got to work out whether I want Mateta or Sarr. Because to be honest with you, the reason I might do Pedro to Mateta, Doku to Sarr, and then Anderson to another defender is because I could then bench Rodon, who will probably not keep a clean sheet this week.
I've just had a thought. Someone we mentioned earlier,
Who?
Minter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then I'd have Minter against Rodon. And I don't want to. I
Mm.
don't mind I don't mind getting Minter, but then I would want to get another defender to bench Rodon to play.
Well,
Um,
the thing with that though is that if Anderson's available, you'd be able to play Anderson, and you
this
wouldn't
game week,
and bench Rodon.
yeah, but it's not looking likely at all, is it, on Anderson?
Mm.
Minter's an interesting one. He's been a popular name for a while, but he hasn't delivered this season at all yet, has he? Really, Brighton don't look great.
Yeah. Anyone with any thoughts and suggestions on players, midfielders,
Yeah,
um, sub 6.3? Well, I guess the alternative would be get Saar rather than Mateta,
yeah,
and look at cheaper forwards, which would be, well, as you said, if you're not keen on Minter because of playing Rodon,
yeah.
then you're probably not going to be wanting or possibly even be able to afford. What would your budget be if you did Doku to
Tar,
um, Saar?
yeah.
You'd then have. Um, Did you say Doku was 6.6?
Yeah. Sorry, 6.5.
6.5, and SAR is 6.6 now.
Yeah.
Six. So you'd be point 0.1 short, and João Pedro is 7.5.
Yeah.
So you'd want 7.4, 7.4 and below forwards. Um, wouldn't be able to get um Voltemada because he's 7.5 now. Thiago.
One move that I have looked at is doing um, Doku to Sarr, João Pedro to Kroppy Jr.
Mm,
Kroppy Jr. To put on the bench. And then next week, that leaves me funds to upgrade Josh King to Enzo Fernandez for their Wolves and Burnley fixtures. So
mm.
basically, I could just have one of Sarr or Mateta, which would be Sarr, um,
Krupi Jr. on the bench and play
yeah,
King.
and play King maybe, yeah. Well, no, I'd just play it as it is now on the screen. Apart from Doku would be Sarr, and then I can start Anderson over Van der Ven and just hope he
Mm,
starts. If not, I have. It's not the end of the world to have a defender. You know, João Pedro and Van der Ven are both capable of getting attacking returns anyway. But it's also the price drop again of João Pedro. He's about to go down again tonight, so I just feel in a bit of a rush to get rid of him. But maybe
mm.
I should just hold fire. Let's have a
What
look at your team now.
and stick it as it is and have three free transfers
Yeah.
next week.
Well, no, I'd have if I did the Doku to Sarr one. Um, I can actually. I just checked. I can. So Doku and Sarr are both the same price. They're both 6.5. It's just
Mm.
Pedro to Mateta is a 0.2 million jump now.
Yeah, so Doku to Sa, you'd be able to swap. To I'd be wondering if you do Doku to Sa, play
Hmm.
King, bench João Pedro,
Yeah,
boss,
that's a possible.
so you don't have João Pedro against Van de Ven,
I think
and
I
then
think King's going. I think King's going to start against Wolves. To be honest, because I think Smith Rowe is injured, which means yeah. So Smith Rowe's a doubt. So that's there's a good chance that King does play the Wolves game, and I suppose if you're going to have him in any fixture, probably the one
Wolves
you
at
want.
home is as good as any at the moment.
Yeah. Let's have a look at
Mm.
your team, mate.
Right, moving on to mine. It's kind of a bit of a similar situation to a lot at the moment. I'll read the team out first. Pope in goal, back three of Tarkowski, away to Sunderland. Gabriel and Timber both away to Burnley. Midfield five currently: Saka away to Burnley, Ndiaye away to Sunderland, Caicedo away at Spurs, Semenyo away at City, Reinders at home to Bournemouth, and then front two: Captain Haaland and Voltemada, with on the bench Dubravka, Senesi, João Pedro, and Goodmanson. So I've got one free transfer,
Nothing in the bank.
not a thing in the bank. Stick of Reinders and João Pedro. Reinders I've had from the start, so I had him while his money went up,
Yeah,
and as it's come back down again.
yeah,
João Pedro I've lost money on because I think I got him when he was 7.6 or 7.7.
yeah.
Um, so I have lost a little bit of value on him. But I've made more preferred moves over the last couple of weeks, um, that I was more keen to do. So it's really, um, again, the like with everyone else wanting Crystal Palace assets in, um, with nothing in the bank. João Pedro, I'm just short of
Mateta.
Mateta there. Um, Reinders is a lot short. but
Mm.
I think he's back. He's at 5.5 now or 5.6, so 0.9 off Sa. So I had thought, and generally at for the players I've got, the funds really is, and we mentioned him when talking about um, transfers out was Tarkovsky because I could drop Tarkovsky down to a 4.5 um, million DEFCON defender.
Yeah, Anderson would have been perfect this week, wouldn't he,
Yeah,
if he was fit?
and I
Yeah.
actually when I wildcarded in six and kept Van der Ven up until last week.
Mm.
No, the week before when I brought Timber in, I was going to do Van der Ven to Anderson in game week 10 because
Yeah.
of the change of fixtures. But then I went early and brought Timber in for Van der Ven. Uh, so yeah, Anderson would be perfect. The alternative is Chris Richards, but he's flagged, so um, I can't really do anything tonight. Um, in a
Are you
way,
considering a hit then?
that was a thought. I could either because I could wait for the press conferences, and if Richards is fine, then drop Tarkovsky down to Richards.
Yeah.
I could just leave it at that, and then
Do João Pedro to Mateo.
next week do either Reinders to Saar or João Pedro to Mateta,
You're not bothered about doing João Pedro to Mateta this week then? Because you can't afford
um,
it. You're not going to force it with it.
or I take a hit and do um, either Reinders up to Saar or João Pedro to Mateta and
And then
take a
start one of them
-4.
over Caicedo. Is that what you would do? Would you bench
Um,
Caicedo if you had Mateta or Sarr?
I think I'd probably bench Reinders to be honest. If I if I did if I did João Pedro to Mateta, I'd bench Reinders because I've got more confidence in Caicedo getting DEFCON away to Spurs than I have
Yeah,
in Reinders getting anything at home to Bournemouth.
fair enough.
Um, that may be, that may well be the
No, that's a
wrong
fair
thoughts,
shout.
but that's my logic. Plus Caicedo's safer for minutes. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's whether I'm willing to take a hit, uh, whether I'm willing to take a hit and therefore bench one. So because it would effectively be sell Tarkovsky to raise the funds and then spend the funds on Reinders de Sar and bench Pedro, or
Mm,
Pedro to Mateta and bench Reinders
yeah. I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I've just made my decision in my head.
in your head. Are you sharing then?
Hmm.
Are you sharing?
No, I'm going to keep it to myself, and I will reveal it
Spoil
Saturday.
sport. Spoil sport.
Yeah, I've made my decision.
Well, you're going to have to see the comments, ladies and gentlemen,
Mm.
for whether Lewis goes with the João Pedro move tonight or not.
Yeah, it's just written in the stars with everyone that sold João Pedro, with how many blanks he's had in a row. He's just going to score at Spurs, isn't he? And Mateta's probably going to blank, and then everyone will be crying again. So FPL heritage.
I'd be potentially laughing if I can't
Yeah,
decide.
even though you'd benched João Pedro, you'd still find it funny because you didn't have Mateta.
No, I'd be like, I'd be cry. I'd actually probably be crying because I'd be like, right, I lost value on him, benched him, and he returns.
Yeah, and then he returns. Yeah, that's why at this point you might you just you just don't want him in your team, do you? Like whether he's on your bench or your 11, you just want rid, don't you? It's just one of them.
Mm.
Um, I don't know. It's difficult. I don't think you can sell Tarkovsky against Sunderland away. I don't think. I
because
think
as
you
we
just
said
have to
before,
roll.
it's likely to be a low scoring game. Um,
I think you have to. If I was you, I would. Yeah, I would roll. I would definitely roll if I was you, mate. Um,
because
you
it's
back.
yeah, as
You
I
back.
said, to get rid of Reinders and João Pedro for someone I actually want. Um, Tarkovsky's the source of funds, and with one free transfer, I'd therefore be taking a hit.
Yeah.
Whereas if I ro whereas if I roll, I'd then at least be able, if I roll or um,
The question is, Matt, how badly do you want Palace assets for this week? If you think they're not going to do too much damage, then you just sit tight. If you're worried that Palace are going to score
mm,
3 goals at home to Brentford, then you maybe make a move with a hit to get those guys in. That's pretty much it.
mm, it may be a roll and then make early double transfer next week before price
Yeah.
um,
So you're just going to be
changes because I would have done Tarkovsky to Richards, and if Richards flagged and potentially doesn't play, then it would potentially be a wasted transfer. So
it's too risky, isn't it?
yeah, I think it's
I genuinely I think Brentford score at Palace. I know Palace are the favourites, but the way that Brentford have been playing, not like that they're playing amazing, but they are playing attacking football, and they're playing direct. And Palace isn't a bad defence, but it's also not the best defence. So I can see
mm,
both teams scoring in that game personally.
yeah, because I'd rather have Palace attack over Palace defense.
Exactly. Yeah. Same.
But I can't afford them without selling a defender. So yeah, I think with one free transfer, I'm probably stuck. It's either take a hit or roll,
Yeah.
really.
All right, bro. I'm gonna have to chip off because I'm
Yeah.
tired.
Alrighty, that's where I think we're stuck with. So let
Yeah.
us know in the comments what you think I or we should do and what you think Lewis has decided just now to do.
Yeah.
Um, how you can get in touch with us, Gmail, lowercase, no characters, fplaffairs@gmail.com, Twitter, FPL Affairs, Facebook, Facebook group, search Facebook groups, just type in the search box FPL Affairs, we should show up, or click the link in our YouTube channel description. Our YouTube handle at FPL Affairs, don't forget the at, it's very important, and Spotify, the links so forth below. Um, Final thoughts then.
Yeah. It's been a good debrief. I'm glad we had this conversation because it gave me the solution in my head that I wanted. So, um, yeah, whether or not, whether or not that will pay off or not is a different matter. But half of this game is just trying to pick. There's always 4 or 5 options when you look at it, and
Mm,
it's not easy to get the right one. But if you're happy with the decision you've made, then there's not much you can do about the outcome. But if you're happy with the logic and the reasoning behind a decision that you made, then leave the rest to the gods, I say.
mm. Well, with the first kickoff on Saturday at 3 o'clock kickoffs, by my
Hmm.
calculations, that means the deadline is 1:30 on Saturday.
Yeah,
So I think thank you very much to the departed Mohammed for joining us at the early hours that it was. I think 5:30 when he first joined us for the first video.
yeah,
Um, and thank you to you. It's been good
good.
debrief, good picking different brains for the
Yeah,
fixtures, and perhaps we'll have to try and persuade the new member of the admin team to come on in the not too distant future.
yeah. Wayne has joined the admin team and he's a very good player. So yeah, hope we can get him on.
Yeah, confrontational conflict with Mohammed because it means Mohammed's no longer top of the admin league.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, not
adrift of Wayne by I think about 5 points or something like that.
Yeah, he'll be desperate to get that back this week.
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty. Well, thanks, mate. Good luck with your transfer decision, whether you do make it imminently or
Yeah.
not. We will keep an eager eye out for it. So,
Cheers, Matt. Good
all
man.
that's left to say is keep your FPL affairs under wraps until, which Lewis is doing, until Saturday's 1:30 p.m. deadline. So that's goodbye from me and goodbye from Lewis. Bye bye.
Adios. Ciao.
Bye bye.